loved seeing Buddy for the first time. Raven's like the typical girl that I would go after in the real world. Like Raven's, she came down, she wearing the tight clothes. I was like, okay, she's a fucking smoke show. She's hot as shit. I was like, okay.
What the fuck?
Oh my god. Some men can be very silly, can't they? I'm waiting for all those people who gave Jared such a hard time for having a conversation with Mallory in Mexico to come out and say their piece about what Batiste just did, because that is unacceptable. I don't care whether you like your fiance or you don't. I don't care. That is unacceptable. Hey there, thanks for stopping by. If you're new to my channel, please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe, and turn on your notification bell for when I upload new videos. It's your girl Valerie again. In this episode, I'll be reviewing Love is Blind, Season 3, Episode 4. Oh my god, I don't even know where to start with Batiste. Batiste is very immature, and this is why I was saying that Nancy shouldn't have said yes to him. Yeah, they do get along on some things. They do have a sort of a very good banter, but he came across as very disrespectful in this episode because okay, the morning after they were both happy, they had sex, they enjoyed themselves, they were happy about that. They were both praising each other about what happened. And then when it came time for the couples to meet up, I knew something was coming up because after season 2, I have to blame it on the producers. I don't blame it on the cast. I don't blame it on Jared and Mallory last season, and neither do I blame it on this crew because it's not like the people in season 3 had season 2, because I understand season 2 was recorded back to back with season 3, so they're only just saying it now. So the fact that they had this conversation with Batiste, first of all, he's you could tell how Nancy was very uncomfortable as soon as Raven and SK came up, and you could I think this is the reason why they decided for Raven and SK to come up last, because they wanted that everybody's attention to be on SK and Raven, just for the drama of it and just to be messy. And so SK was talking about his relationship with Raven and how it's going, because everybody the guys were asking, and I don't see why it's any of Batista's business how far apart they're sitting, or why Raven and SK are not having sex. That's not his business. His business should be Nancy. And the fact that he had the mind to sort of say to Nancy about his feelings for Raven was unacceptable. That is unacceptable. That is just disrespectful. And I don't know. Oh, she's the type of girl I would have dated. He told Raven he didn't see she was being very superficial, and he didn't see anything going further with her. So he wanted to cut things. He wanted to stop things. He stopped things with her. Went on to Nancy, proposed to Nancy, and now he's regretting. Oh, I wish I hadn't. I'd given her the final days, and I wish and the fact that he was trying to sort of start up conversation in this, like, she's now somebody else's fiance. You can't hit on somebody else's fiance. Leave her alone. She's moved on. She's found somebody. Allow her to try and sort of create a relationship with that person. You try and work on your relationship. And I think as soon as Baptiste made this comment about Raven, Nancy knew that they were done. I think she knew they were done, because how do you come back from that? And the fact that he was saying, "Oh, I hope you don't mind me being honest." There's being honest, and there's being disrespectful. I think his comments about Raven were disrespectful to both ladies. That's just my opinion. I think Batista's comments were disrespectful to Nancy, his fiance, because how did he expect her to respond to that? It's more like telling Nancy that you're not my type, and then the fact that he kept trying to be around Raven to try and have a conversation. I think the producers were pushing him. They were after a Mallory and Jared moment, and they didn't get it. And the fact that SK, I think, knew that this is what they were after. They were trying to sort of create a moment between his fiance and Baptiste. I think this is why he sort of stepped in and sort of made sure that nothing untoward took place. Anyway, from there, Raven and SK. I think people are undermining Raven and SK. This is my opinion. I think people are undermining Raven and SK because I think there's a lot more going on that we're not seeing, and I think they've decided to be very reserved about their relationship and not tell people, feeling that just because SK and Raven are not disclosing intimate details of their relationship, um, that does not mean that nothing is taking place. Because from personal experience, from what my friends have told me, I have a couple of Nigerian friends, they put a lot of value on sort of dignity and respect. And so if they were to do that, that might not bode well with with SK's family if he is serious about marrying Raven, and then the family see, her behaving that way on camera, that might not be seen in a positive light, and so I think they have chosen to purposely keep the intimate details of their relationship private and not disclose that to the whole world. So just because they're saying that, oh, we're not being intimate, we're not, that does not mean that that's what's taking place. He's going to want to do with her on camera, and certain things he's not going to do with her because he knows what impact that will have on his family and what opinion they will draw from that, because he has to answer to his family when the show ends. And if he's interested in this girl and wants to marry this girl, then he has to, be very protective, not only of himself but of her, and make sure that the two of them don't do anything that might sort of turn his family off or might sort of make his family feel some type of way. I think they, even if they are intimate, they would never say it on camera. They would never tell anyone, and they would never do anything that might be seen as inappropriate. So people might be undermining their relationship, and they might actually have a stronger connection than everybody else who's had sex on the show. That's just my opinion. I like the fact that they did keep to themselves. They are trying to sort of to SK is trying to open up and do things that Raven likes. Yeah, he did fall asleep during the yoga session. But still, the fact that he is trying to sort of explore these things that he knows that make Raven happy, and she is also open to exploring things that make him happy. I really love that about them. I hope she says yes, and I hope he says yes. We'll see how it goes. And then from there, Matt and Colleen, for me, Colleen is still playing the game. Colleen is playing the game. In my opinion, Colleen just wants to be on the show, and she'll do anything and everything just to be on the show. So she'll play the type of girlfriend or the type of fiance that she knows Matt wants. Matt was talking to the guys and telling them about how great things were. They as well talked about their sex in the morning and how they enjoyed the sex and stuff. And the fact that Colleen was bragging with ZANAB about how many rounds they'd done with their guys, and it's just like, that's a bit inappropriate, and I don't know why that was shown, but hey, it is what it is. And so Matt, I think, is sort of sensing that something might not be right, because he had a conversation with the guys and he said, I'll be very put off if it turns out that, she was putting on an act and she wasn't the person that she's telling me that she is. And I said this before, and this is not the first time he's brought it up. So I think there's a lot more for us to see in regards to that relationship. I can foresee that relationship exploding. I don't think they'll say yes on decision day. I don't think they'll say yes at the altar. We'll see. But then it was also interesting to see that Cole said no to Colleen because he said she was very superficial. But then he said when he saw her, he went, "Oh, she's my type. She's the type of person I would date. She's the type of person, I would show up to because I feel very attracted to her." And it's like, what is wrong with these people? You are on this show because you want an emotional connection. You're not on this show to look for someone you're sexually attracted to or whatever. How can you move from that? And so it was surprising, and I don't know how Zanab will feel when she hears about that. At least we didn't hear him tell Zanab about that. Maybe we'll hear about that, in the next episodes that are about to be released. And then with Cole and Zanab, uh, Cole complained to the guys that Zanab is passive aggressive. Which she would make these comments when they were in the pods. He thought she was just being, she was doing it with a smile on her face, so it was just her humor and stuff. But then now he's found out that this is who she is, because and he finds it a bit difficult to adjust because of how stern she is. And it's like, what did he expect? A lot of people complain. You should have seen Nancy and Batise's room. It was filthy, and the cameras were not afraid to show all the clothes on the floor. So I don't know. It is what it is. I didn't really see the big deal. There are another couple that I think if they do get, they remind me now of Shane and Natalie a bit. They're not yet as toxic, but that's who they remind me of. If you look at these couples, all of them, you can actually tell who they are. So for I don't know. You can tell each couple who sort of the producers are going for, and I don't know why. They just don't allow relationships to happen organically. People match up, let them do whatever they want to do, and then edit around it to tell the story that you want to tell. And then Brennan and Alex, they did talk about, that they were sexually intimate. They seem to be getting along great, but it's sad to see that we're not. even seeing that much of them. I don't know whether it's because they're not providing the drama that the producers are after, or whether aesthetically they're not the sort of image that the show is after. I don't know whether they're just there just because last season a lot of people complained that there were a lot of curvier girls on the show and none of them were shown, and this is why they chose to feature them. But we barely saw much of them. Yeah, we did see them have a conversation and sort of discuss the night before and what happened. And even when they arrived at the party, there was not that much of a big deal about them. They greeted everybody else. There wasn't really, I think, a storyline for them to tell because they didn't have any drama with anyone. They remind me of, now it's finally come back, they remind me of a cross of Danielle and Nick and Barnett and Amber. I don't know. It was sad though. We barely got to see Alexa sort of mix in with the other guys, and we didn't even hear the other guys talk about her that much, apart from the just the basic conversation they were having. And Amber was saying, you know, when they were saying that Brennon is very intelligent, and Amber, Alexa sort of hinted that yeah, he is. He chose. That's why he chose me. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I hope we get to see more of them. But anyway, it is what it is. Thanks, guys, for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Bye.